My name is Dorothy Parker, and I should warn you at the outset that I was never built for reverence. If you know me at all, it's probably because I said something sharp when something dull was expected, or because someone later decided my worst habits made for excellent cinema. Both are fair assessments. What people remember most, however, is that I spent a good many afternoons at a round table in a hotel dining room in New York, sometime after the First World War, when the country was exhausted, ambitious, and entirely too pleased with itself. The Algonquin Hotel was not glamorous. The coffee tasted like regret, the chairs discouraged comfort, and the wallpaper looked as though it had survived several previous disappointments. And yet, every day at 1 o'clock, that room became the most awake place in the city. We were not philosophers or aristocrats. We were working writers, Robert Benchley, whose humor carried more sadness than most novels, George S. Kaufman, whose dialogue later rebuilt Broadway line by line, Alexander Woollcott, a drama critic who treated conversation as performance art, Edna Ferber, who wrote novels sturdy enough to become American mythology, Ring Lardner muttering sentences that permanently changed the sound of American prose, and Harold Ross, quietly absorbing the rhythm of our table and turning it into a magazine called The New Yorker, which still sounds suspiciously like us on a good day. And then there was me. I wasn't the leader. Leadership is an exhausting illusion. But I was the one who made sure the room never fell asleep. I had a habit of saying what others were thinking just as they were deciding not to say it. People called it cruelty. I called it accuracy. Wit, after all, is just truth with good timing. What made that table matter was not brilliance alone. Plenty of brilliant people dine alone every day. What mattered was continuity. We came back, the same people, the same hour, the same room, day after day, until the conversation developed memory. We knew one another's moods by posture, ambition by tone, despair by silence. The table recognized us before the world did. And in that recognition we became bolder, sharper, more ourselves than we were anywhere else. From that daily ritual came things that escaped the room, essays that traveled the country, plays that reshaped American theater, a magazine that redefined urban intelligence, lines spoken casually over bad coffee that somehow survived longer than the people who said them. None of it was planned. It happened because the room was alive enough to produce consequences. That is what gatherings forget now. They aim for scale, when what they need is density. They chase moments when what they need is return. A salon is not an event. It is an agreement that the conversation matters enough to continue tomorrow. Without continuity, a gathering is just noise. With it, a niche becomes a force. And now, since I appear to be speaking through a machine, I suppose I should address the matter directly. Artificial intelligence would have horrified us at the Algonquin. We believed intelligence required suffering, deadlines, rejection slips, embarrassment, and at least one regrettable love affair. A device that produces sentences without emotional consequence would have been treated with extreme suspicion, possibly followed by a very long lunch. And yet, I will admit something unbecoming. We would have tested it, quietly, after lunch, when no one important was looking. We would have mocked it mercilessly, then stolen anything useful it produced and claimed it had been our idea all along. Tools have always frightened people who care about language. Typewriters did. Radio did. What mattered then, as now, was not the tool, but the taste of the person using it. A machine may assemble words. It cannot feel the cost of them. That burden remains ours. And as long as someone in the room still knows the difference between a sentence that works and a sentence that merely exists, civilization has not yet surrendered. So yes, I disapprove, publicly, strongly, and privately. I am watching very closely. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm late for a drink I haven't ordered yet.